Objective 2, switching forms of logarithmic and exponential equations. So this skill is necessary because when we get into solving logarithmic and exponential equations, there will be a time where you're going to have to switch from one form to the other. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to do both within this video. It's pretty straightforward. If I'm going to go over how to express logarithm. If you're given a logarithmic function, can you write it in exponential form? And I'll go over the opposite situation. If you're given an exponential function, can you write it in logarithmic form? So if I was going to do number 1, it says log base 5 of 25 equals 2. That's how you read those types of equations. Log base 5 of 25 equals 2. Now, the first thing that I would consider is what type of function in this is this, and it's pretty straightforward. It's a logarithmic function, and the main way I know how that is that it says log. It has a log within the function. So I know it's logarithmic, and the directions say to express it in exponential form. And so, if I remember from exponential form, I had a base and a power, alright? And so I'm going to underline the base, and if you remember, log base 5, so 5 is my base, of 25 equals 2. And so, in this case, the equals 2 means that 5 needs to multiply with itself twice in order to get to 25. So 5 needs to be raised to the power of 2, so I'm going to draw an arrow there, and that's going to help me remember. So 5 is raised to the power of 2 in order to, so draw another arrow, in order to get to 25. And so that's how I write from log function or log format to exponential form, alright? So, the base of 5, I always underline the base, no matter if it's logarithmic or exponential. The base of 5, draw an arrow to the power of 2, and draw another arrow to the output of 25. Alright, so let's go on to the next one. I underline the base of 3, log base 3, draw an arrow to the power, log base 3 of 27 equals 3, so 3 raised to the third equals 27. Alright? And let's finish off the next two examples. Underline the base, draw an arrow to the power, draw another arrow to the output. So 4 cubed, or raised to the third, equals 64. And all this math is true. It works out the way that it does. And then finally, log base 2, so underline 2, draw an arrow to the power, and then an arrow to the output. These arrows really help me remember what goes what, and so I underline the base, so write the base, draw the arrow to the power, so I'll write the power next, and then my next arrow distinguishes what it equals, alright? So that's switching from logarithmic to exponential. Now let's jump down. If I'm given an exponential function, can I write it in logarithmic form? Alright, so the biggest thing I see here is I know that it's exponential first because I don't see the word log, and also I just see a base and a power. In this case, 2 is the base, 3 is the power, 8 is the output, alright? So, if I'm going to write it in logarithmic form, I need a log, the word log, and my base is 2, alright? The base is always being raised, or always has a power. In this case, the power is 3. So the base over here is 5. But log base 2, so I'm going to write 2 a little bit below the log. And then it's the same thing. I'm going to draw my arrow. So log base 2 of 8, so the next piece I write from my arrow is the output, 8. Log base 2 of 8, and then draw my other arrow to the power. And in this case, in order to write it in logarithmic form, I'm going to put equals 3. So what this means is that how many 2's do I need to multiply together to get 8? I need 3 2's. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And so that is logarithmic form. Alright, so number 6, I underline the base, so I'm going to put log base 5. 5, I draw the arrow to the output. So log base 5 of 125. So how many 5's do I need to multiply together to get 125? Well, I put equals and draw to that power. I need 3 5's. 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. Let's finish this off. I'll draw my arrows. Base of 4, output of 256 equals 4. So log base 4 of 256 equals 4. And then finally, underline the base, so log base 5 of 625 equals the power of 4. So 5 times itself 4 times equals 625. And this is why, again, they've created logarithmic functions, because you could imagine multiplying a number together 40 times would be really hard to write out and long to write out. So in this case, they could have just wrote log base 5 of whatever 5 times or 5 raised to the 40th power is equals 40, that type of thing. So it just condenses everything. So at this point, you were done watching the video, please practice these 6. Your goal is 6 out of 6 to master this and move on, but the first 3 are given to you in exponential. Hopefully you can recognize that. And don't worry if at times, like number 6, it has 2 variables. I'm just trying to get you to practice rewriting the forms, all right? So don't worry if it's numbers or variables. Just practice the skill of underlining the base, drawing the arrow to the next piece, and then drawing an arrow to the next piece, all right? So go ahead and try that.